Hey everybody, it's Grant, and today I'm going to prove to you that money can buy happiness. But here's the thing, before you log out and hit that dislike button because you had an opinion about what I just said, I'm going to use actual fact. I'm going to use a university study, and I'm going to use my own personal opinions and experiences to tie it all together. Let's get in the video, and I know you're going to enjoy it. So let's start this video out with trying to figure out what happiness truly is. I'm going to give you a moment to think to yourself of what you feel and what you think happiness truly is. Do you know? I find a lot of the times people don't actually know what they're chasing. Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a millionaire. Well, what's the definition of millionaire? And most of them are guessing versus telling me the answer. So let's talk about this. Happiness. The true form of happiness. What does that mean? Is that celebrity lifestyle status? Is it a YouTube channel with millions of subscribers? Is it $1 million net worth? Is it, what is happiness to you? Is it making $1 million a year? Is that what happiness means to you? So if we're gonna think about it that way, we have to actually tangibly define happiness. We need to be able to take the word happiness and break it down into what it truly means. We're in a world where fact doesn't mean as much as opinion. But the beautiful thing about this world is there are definable things that can keep us grounded. So let's take happiness for a second and define it. The root word of happiness is happy. So in order to define happiness, we need to define the word happy. Happy means a feeling of pleasure, contentment, or joy. Wait a minute. So you're telling me that happiness isn't paparazzi in my face? Happiness isn't private jets and planes? Happiness isn't making it rain? So what you're telling me, Grant, is happiness truly means feeling of pleasure. Well, we have endorphins that go on off our brain that make pleasure, right? So we can do that by doing something nice for someone. That increases your pleasure. Doing something with your partner, whether taking them on a vacation, doing something for them, going to the movies, doing something for someone else. It is my biggest pleasure. You guys know that I love doing that with you. Let's take joy. Being able to accomplish something, set a goal and crush it, that's a joy. But the best word in this entire definition, and you can Google it, contentment. Contentment is one of the root words of happiness. And that is crazy. We're thinking it's something it's not. We're thinking it's this majestic unicorn. I'm leaving it in there. That we just can never find. We see it on TV, but we know it doesn't exist in real life. That's not true. You can personally be content, and I'll prove it to you. So now that we've defined happiness as happy, and happy as joy, pleasure, or that most beautiful root word, contentment. We can now go after it. We can achieve it. And I 100% know and believe in you that you can. The Purdue University did a study on the optimal income, the average optimal income in the United States. They found that the optimal income was $60,000 to $75,000 a year. Mind-blowing to a lot of you because you think you have to make millions and do all these crazy things to be truly content, which content means what? Content means happy. So let's talk about this for a second. $60,000 to $75,000 a year. Let's take $75,000. $75,000 for you and a spouse is what we're talking about here. If you have a family, it does go up. But let's think about this for a second. $75,000 a year. If you live below or at your means, this is very attainable, no matter where you live. If you live above your means, you're always gonna have an issue with this. And if you live in a super expensive area and you have the skills to make that money anywhere in the United States, move. It's that simple, right? I never take pity on people that say, you don't understand what it's like to live in California. I also don't care. I want you to live where you're comfortable. I want you to live where your mental state. This is the optimal income for mental wellness. If you want to go live by the beach, great. It's expensive. if you want to go fly to the beach and make a lot of money and live under your means in Texas or Louisiana, also great. So I want you to picture this. The difference between living paycheck to paycheck versus bumping your income level to $75,000 a year. I want you to understand why it's contentment. Let's say that your girlfriend, fiance, or wife says, honey, let's go to the restaurant tonight that we love. Let's go to the local steakhouse or the Main Squeeze Juice Company. And you have to tell her or him or whoever, oh, well, honey, we'll have to wait till next week. Or you do say, yeah, let's go. And you swipe the credit card and put yourself in debt. That is not a good well-being state of mind. Let's say they never ask for anything and they do so much for you. You want to reward them. So you need to work harder, you need to save more, you need to build your skill level to get to these points to where you can say, absolutely, let's go. I'm not telling you to spoil anybody. I'm not telling you to spoil yourself, but I am telling you, when someone deserves a nice treat, when someone wants to come on a grand vacation, that's why you make those kinds of income, so that way you can do for your family, do for others, and also well-being for yourself. So the study takes it one step further. Not only does it talk about $60,000 to $75,000 a year making you have an emotional well-being in your life, if you make $95,000 a year, no matter where you live, this is an average, you now have a feeling of satisfaction in life. So now you feel truly successful. You can do even more of those things. You can even possibly decide to start doing more trips and other things that you don't have to save 6 months to go on. You can just go. Like for instance, you might be thinking, Grant, blah 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 blah. You make money. You're on a vacation with Kayla. Let me explain something to you. This is the first vacation we have taken in probably 3 years. I asked her earlier, and besides a long weekend that we would go somewhere and come right back, like when we met and visited Graham, we were gone for 2 days of work. We just missed the weekend, right? Just missed 2 days of work. Everything I do is a work-related vacation. I try to turn it into something productive. And you got to think, how does that make her feel? So by coming here, what a beautiful place this is. And the last trip me and her can remember taking together without having to do any work, doing anything goofy, was we went snow skiing together, where I taught her how to snow ski, or the instructor did, in 2018. What more is money for? What more is being comfortable for than to not treat the most important person in my life? So this trip has really opened my eyes to, contentment. Contentment doesn't just mean working all the time. And that brings me to my next point. 95,000 brings you to a fulfillment. But anything over that can make you actually a little income paranoid. The Purdue study says that after you hit $105,000 a year, then you start to compare yourself to others. And instead of just being happy, content, and feeling like you've made it in your own life, 105 and more makes you start going, well, what's Grant doing? Well, it's a shame I don't do that. Oh, I need to step my game up. And that is where you start going into, keeping up with the Joneses, where you make $250 and spend $250. You might be thinking, there's no possible way, Grant. But one time, a friend of mine, and I've never told them this, but they said, and I quote, Grant, $250,000 a year, that's a good living, but that's not rich. I said, what are you talking about? It's a fantastic living. You can be rich if you save it. If you live like a king today, you don't get to be a king tomorrow. But if you work today like no other, you can live tomorrow like no other. So keep in mind, these are all just for someone who is married, someone who is single, and an average across the entire United States. And as I've said in a lot of videos, and probably in this video, if you don't like the fact that $75,000 in California can make you happy, or Lake Charles, Louisiana, that's an average. And what I'm telling you is, if you don't like what the income needs to be where you live, move. It's that simple. You can always go travel to those places, enjoy them, and they'll make them that much more special than when you get to live at them every single day and work to live and see that view. And I feel like if you're at the $95,000 a year level, you can take your partner to a place like this. And I've taken a lot of B-roll of this place, a lot of video. I just call everything B-roll now. But I'm actually gonna drop a few things in here, and I think you're really gonna enjoy it. So the coolest thing about this place is when you walk in the front door, it is so beautiful and ornate. The ceilings are so crazy high, and there's these potted, weathered desert trees that are just lined up with this beautiful marble. This place owns its own marble factory, so everything is covered in marble. Even the baseboards are marble. Talk about expense. And when you walk through these doors, it just really opens up. The view is absolutely breathtaking. You have so many pools. You've got a beach right on the other side. It's absolutely awesome. The room alone is worth being here. The room is covered in marble. You've got this big white bed. You've got the shower. You've got all these crazy things. One crazy thing that we did was we also went on this tour, okay? This tour of the facility for them to sell us a membership, you know? And what ended up happening here is they took us through all these different rooms, which are absolutely crazy. I know I've said the word absolutely so many times, but the best part was the balconies of these rooms. Like this one has a hot tub right here, and this next one has the craziest patio. It's so long, and you would think it's part of the actual resort where everybody could use it, but nope, only if you can actually get in those types of rooms. And the best part is the place called The Residence. The Residence is this big old giant building at the very edge of the beach, and it's got its like moats. It's got so much to offer. It's got this giant dining room table that is absolutely sick. You've got this giant full kitchen, so many bedrooms, and look at the view of this place. You can be sleeping right here in this bed and look at all this amazing stuff. Not only does it have a massage room in this giant residence, but you also have your own private pool. And here's the coolest part. Not only do you have a cool outdoor area, but you also have the coolest shower I've ever seen. You have an indoor and outdoor shower that is absolutely breathtaking. And you know, I just want to take a shower there. I'm just gonna say it. It's the neatest thing. So sadly, the Purdue study does not include families, and predominantly a family of 4. You know, 2 adults, 2 children is about the average. And I'm curious, so let's take a channel survey. What would be your optimal income if you have a family? Please comment below. I would love to know. Just personally, we could do our own survey right here. I would love to know what income would make you comfortable. I don't need you to live like kings and queens, but you can live like kings and queens in your own way. You don't have to drive a Ferrari to work. You don't have to live in a $1 million house, but you can be comfortable. I love that word because comfortable is something that we can all attain. Contentment is something that we can all attain. And if you're content and you don't have to worry about your bills, and you have a good mental state of well-being, you can have joy and you can have pleasure. So please comment below. I would think that the average median income in the United States for a family is typically around $60,000 to $70,000 a year. And I'm putting a range on it because all the websites say a bunch of different things. These videos take a ton of research to do, so hopefully you enjoyed the level of time and commitment it put into this video to make. But I think that the optimal income, in my opinion, for a family to be content is $80,000 to $105,000 a year. I have a lot of friends that make $80,000 a year and they have 2 to 3 children, and they do great. They enjoy it. They've got enough room for everybody in the house, but they don't have a playroom, a guest room, and 5 other rooms to store things in. They live in a home that, you know, suits their needs. And I hope that you guys enjoy this. I hope that you comment below. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope it opened your eyes to a new way of life, that you now know you don't have to make $150,000 to $200,000 to $300,000 to $1 million a year to be happy. You don't have to be a celebrity. You can be yourself, and the average income needed to be happy in the United States is $75,000 a year if you're single, and hopefully $105,000 to maybe $120,000 if you have a family. Thank you guys, and That's it for the video, guys. If you enjoy videos like this, please power up the like button, hit that subscribe button, and notification bell. I post every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I want to see any comments you have for this video, especially the income idea. And also put if you're a family or if you're single. You can comment if you're single, how much income you think you would need. I'd love to know. And also anything you'd like to see in future videos. Remember, I 100% believe in you. I know you can do anything you set your mind to, and never let anyone tell you any differently. Hope you have a fantastic afternoon, and I will see you on the next one.